I'm going to use this video to talk you through cat-cow pose and a variation of the pose. You'll see this in many yoga classes. It's often used in the opening sequence to create warmth and flexibility in the spine. And as you move through this pose, you will begin to strengthen the muscles around your spine that support it. You will weight bear through the wrists here, and bone density is a really important consideration for anyone with a cancer diagnosis. So cancer itself and some of the treatments can lead to loss of bone volume and bone density, and this leaves us at risk of fractures. So working on strengthening the muscles that support our spine is a really great way of protecting ourselves if we're at risk of osteoporosis or osteopenia. And for that reason, I'd like to talk you through how to safely come in and out of this pose, and just to take a minute to understand maybe how you might feel in this pose and when to stop if you feel uncomfortable or in pain. So we're going to start in tabletop for this pose. So just coming on to all fours here. I just want you to set yourself up, or I invite you to set yourself up in a way that's really safe and grounded. I'm going to provide you with stability as you move through this pose. So for setting yourself up, we'll think about getting our knees hip distance apart here, and our knees should be stacked just underneath our hip points here at the back. And then for the hands, so the hands, you might like to spread your fingertips widely, fingertips pointing forward towards the front of the mat. And spreading your fingertips like this, it just allows you to distribute weight across your hands. Wrists should be stacked under elbows, and elbows under shoulders here. And just thinking about your elbows for a minute in this position, you don't want to lock your elbows in this position. Locking your elbows is going to create a lot of tension and stress on the joint. So if we just think about softening our elbows here and just relaxing a little bit, that's going to allow the muscles in our arms to do a little bit of the work, and it's going to just allow us to weight bear gently into our forearms and our wrists, just building a little bit of strength there. Our forearms and wrists are often those bones that are quite prone to fractures, so it just allows us to gently weight bear. Now we might like to think about our shoulders in this position. In yoga, we never want to hang from our joints. So hanging from our joints is putting a lot of pressure on them. So instead, we might like to think about engaging the muscles in our shoulders. And as you do that, you might just feel some space across your back and across your shoulder blades here. And I'd like you to just think about the position of your spine here as well. So pushing your tailbone towards the back of the room and just pushing your head towards the front, just to set yourself up with a nice straight back, creating some space between each of the vertebrae. And from here, we're going to think about our breathing. So we're going to move into a cow pose, and we're going to connect that with our inhale. So when we inhale, we're going to start to bring some movement into this posture. So on the inhale, what I'd like you to do is just to tilt your pelvis downwards here. And as you tilt your pelvis down, your tailbone is going to come up and point towards the back of the room. And your belly is going to naturally draw downwards here towards the floor. And for the upper part of our body, we're going to draw our chest forwards towards the front of the room, creating space through the collarbones. And think about drawing your shoulder blades back to meet each other. You can bring your gaze forward here. And then for our exhale, we're going to empty out. And as we empty out of our belly, our navel is going to draw towards the back of our spine. And we're going to get some rounding here as we push through our hands and through the mat, creating some roundness in our spine. We can drop the gaze down between our hands here. And in yoga, this is known as cat pose. So tailbone is grounding down here into the floor. And as we come to inhale again, we're going to move back into a tilt. Belly drops down, chest draws forward, space across the collarbones here, shoulder blades draw back, gaze comes up, and you can just move through this in your own time. So just think about connecting your breath to the movement here. And for anyone who has a spinal injury or maybe recovering from spinal surgery, has any spinal fractures or any curvature of the upper spine, a variation could be that you move from tabletop on your inhale into the cow. So you drop the belly down, but you just come back up to tabletop. So we take the curving of the spine out of the posture. So you inhale into your cow, dropping down, and on the exhale you just come up to flat back, avoiding curving your spine. So inhale, drop the belly down, and exhale, coming to a nice flat back. And you can work through this in your own time. And coming out of it, you can just think about walking your hands back, coming back into a comfortable seat. So your bum might rest on your heels here.